Behold, it is I, Gato Phantasma. Today we are going to hate out on people's hands. We're not really going to try for many discard payoff cards. I do play a few, but I just like to make people's hand size down to 0, so they have to draw into whatever their game plan is. And you can combo this list with the graveyard hate list to make sure that those cards ain't coming back from the graveyard, because people love to do that. Alright, in mana value 1, I have Hopeless Nightmare, Tiny Bones joins up, and Vicious Rumors. I love every single one of these cards. In Commander, playing a Thoughtseize type effect that just targets one person, that's just not going to cut it. Maybe they do that in CDH, but I wouldn't even know. But it's more of a modern 1v1 format, but all these cards make all your opponents discard one card, and they have extra text on them, and that makes them fabulous. And Vicious Rumors, just such a fun card to play. Mana value 2, this card is, pretty new from Bloomburrow, but each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. So normally people will just pitch a land, but it's got to be 2 lands or a non-land card. And the extra text on this card is actually more discard synergy right on the card. So that is fabulous include. And then the rest of these guys right here, they're all 2 mana 1/1s that make your opponents discard a card. And this one says exiled. And then there's Croxa, all the same. In this card, I'm still looking to get. It actually doesn't, it's not an automatic discard. They can just sacrifice a creature. But this card is very pushed, so I'm just including it right here. That will be the mana value 2. Arterial Flow. This card's one of my favorites. 3 mana. Each opponent discards 2 cards with extra text. No other 3 mana card allows you to impact people's hands that much. So it's a 6 for 1, with maybe a little life gain. Mind Slash. This card is great in a minions deck, or decks where you have token creatures, and you can pinpoint certain people's hands and cards in those, and sometimes that is good. Stronghold Rats. I play this in my Rats deck, and then there's a few other discardy rats, so this one keeps that theme going. Let's Play a Game. Like Artillery Flow, it's each opponent discards 2 cards with extra text, and this one just replaced Unnerve. It just doesn't have the extra text, so I cut this from every deck, which it's still pretty good, but it just has a replacement card. Locust Miser. I consider this a hand reducer, because they will now more likely have to discard the hand size at end of turn. Nicol Bolas is my commander of my main discard deck, and literally the only plan is to play a 2-drop that play a 1-drop that makes them all discard a card, play a 2-drop that makes them all discard a card, and then turn 3, I don't know, do something, but turn 4, play this guy. They've all discarded 3 cards so far. It's crazy. Refurbished Familiar. He's similar to these kind of creatures. Makes them all discard a card. But likely, unless you're not playing any artifacts, but most people are playing like Mana Rocks and other utility artifacts, and other creatures turn out to be artifacts. And so, I don't know how often I've ever played this for full mana, but it's discounted enough that it's just great. Siphon Mind. People would consider this more of a card draw card, but each other player each other player discards a card, and you draw a card for each card discarded this way. It's fabulous. I play it in most of my black decks that are looking for more card draw. And we'll go to mana value 5, and that's Junji, the Midnight Sky. But when he dies, each opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. That's just powerful. And if you are doing anything else with him, he's just great. Kefka is just in a 99 with Nicol Bolas. He's just Nicol Bolas's buddy that you can come down and do more of that nonsense again. And when he flips, it's more card draw, but yeah, I don't think Nicol Bolas on his flip side doesn't do any discard things. He draws you cards, but he's great. If you can ever flip them over. Sadistic Hypnotist. In a tokens deck, this guy's just bonkers. You can just, by himself and a handful of tokens, take down people's hands right there. Blade Coil Serpent. For each black, each opponent discards a card. So if you play him for 6 black, each opponent would discard 3 cards, and apparently he has the X in his casting cost, so you can actually just keep paying more mana, colored mana into him, but just good enough. Sideboard. I actually play Mind Twist in one of my decks because it's a beautiful 3rd edition card. It does target someone. Hitting for someone for 3 is pretty devastating, but hitting for someone for 7 is kind of unrealistic. So note that you're like mediumly gonna take someone down because it's random. So and half their hand at random is pretty devastating. Into Torak, I don't know if I'm playing any decks, but I would like to because it's just classic, just like this one, and I don't mind doing mean random discard. Not most of these things don't make people discard things at random. You either choose or they choose. And this guy's still not playing him in a deck, but I would love to. So it's Torak and his him. Delirium Schemes. Each player discards 3 cards. I don't have a reason to play this, but it's the most card discard for 3 mana. Like, that could be like 12 cards going to the graveyard if that's your thing. Liliana Spectre. I guess she's like the rat up here, but is just a different mana cost, and it's a guaranteed 3 instead of 4, but I don't play her in anything anymore, but it's mostly the exact mana cost, really. This card I heard about, it seems kind of fun, but I don't know if that's playable. Rankle's Prank. Each player discards 2 cards. Kind of like Delirium Schemes. I'm not trying to discard my own cards, but this card seems good, but for some reason it's just I have it in reserve. Unnerve is in reserve, and then you draw 2 cards and each opponent discards 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life. 6 mana. I don't know. It seems good, but I'm not using it. Intastiker's Cruelty. Yeah, you can actually get this down to just costing 1 mana for each opponent discarding 2 cards, but it would have to be a bit later in the game where you have 5 cards in your graveyard to spend on this. And that is all. I put discard packages in control decks without any payoffs. Like if you just have like a handful of Artillery Flow and Let's Play a Game and Siphon Mind, or just a few of those, it's part of like a control package to make it easier to control your opponents, because once they discard cards, they have less options, and then when they play those remaining options and you take them out, you can devastate them. So that is my plan. Even in my heavy discard deck, I'm planning to just make their options so few and then take out the few things left, the rest of the game plan. Alright, and that's it. Gato Fantasma signing off.